Another survivor? But I've never seen you in the tower. Were you one of the professor's assistants in the downstairs projects? Did he escape with you? That sounds like him. Professor Hughes was very thoughtful. I mean, he is very thoughtful. I'm sure he found a way to get out. He must have! Alistair is remote enough that we don't get a lot of visitors. And with our research, fewer visitors means fewer questions. I just don't understand the Tuatha. I mean, most Fae aren't violent. The wild ones can be, but no more than any forest animal. But the Tuatha are some sort of cult among the Winter Fae. Before they invaded Erythel, no one could have imagined the Fae ever marching to war. We all knew Fomerus was a genius, but I'll admit, even I had my doubts about him being able to bring the dead back to life. Guess the Tuatha weren't very pleased that it worked. Oh, you mean Agarth? He visits Hughes every once in a while. I never could figure out why they got along. He's friendly enough, if a bit odd. You should be able to find him in Gorhart, just down the road, past the ruins. You can't miss it. Brilliant idea, the Well of Souls. Plucks dead people out of the ether, rebuilds their body, and brings them back to life. At least that's what it was supposed to do. Guess we'll never know if it worked now. We should be safe here. At least a little longer.
I saw you fighting there. We could have used more of you. Did they really have a troll? I don't know how the Tuatha found us, but if they had a troll, it couldn't have been an accident. Fate was kind to collapse that doorway behind you, or they would have chased us into the glade. We started building here when they found Prismere in the mines nearby. Never thought we'd see Tuatha this far out west, though. I never did trust Fae to begin with. Well, those Tuatha are the worst sort. They waged some sort of holy war against humans and Alpha for years now. But the front's all the way out east. What are they doing out here? How did they know about this place? They're technically a type of wild Fae. Related to the Fae of the summer and winter courts, actually. Dangerous enough in the wild. The Tuatha also use them in their army. Hughes ran off, you say? I wouldn't worry too much. The old man's tougher than he looks, and he's always got a plan. Fate weavers? Ah, charlatans. You swears by them, but I'll be damned if I trust my future to some cards. The well was incredible, but it took armloads of Prismere crystals to keep the thing active. That's why we built it so close to the Stone Candle mines. They even put in a few tunnels to deliver the crystals directly into the well. I told them it wasn't safe. Looks like I was right. Again. Good luck out there. No more.
アンダーバー3、5濁点アンダーバーニュット、こんにちは。
とさん、こんにちは。
ワクチンの副作用に苦しめられてますが、高評価のドツポチ。
熱出てるんですかね、コットさん。
頭がクソ痛いです。わら。
お大事に。
I remember you. You're the one? How did you come back? How did you find me here? When I saw you with Edsel in the well, I ran. But it wasn't because I was afraid. I was coming to report that Hughes's experiment had succeeded. The Well of Souls is bigger than just one gnome's pet project. My contact pays well for information about its progress. I just send reports to make some money on the side. But I don't know how the Tuatha found out. This has nothing to do with them. I never wanted anyone to get hurt. Thank you, thank you. Here, take this. It's the pay for my last report. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm going back home to Odessa.
You've come from the tower, haven't you? Name's Agarth. Maybe you can help an old Fate Weaver, eh? Did he? Poor old Fomerus Hughes. He respected the way the world works. What a shame. He's probably dead by now. The cards told me that the Well of Souls would work, but Hughes's success would come on the day of his death. He took it pretty well, honestly, although we did a lot of drinking after that. I wish I could, but times are tough. I've barely got enough to pay my bar tabs as it is. You're the one. Then that means... it all makes sense now. The cards this morning. I drew the Gravedigger, the Running Man, and the Beast. Prepare yourself. They're coming.
Time to perish, mortal.
What? How? What are you? The threads of fate. I've seen them before, but I've never seen anyone manipulate them like that. You just changed how the world was supposed to work. How did you do that? Hughes may have brought you back to life, but that was still part of fate's plan. Nothing short of a god can do what you did. Come here. I'm going to do a reading. You might be able to change the threads, but fate will still have a plan for you. I promise not to tell you if I see your death. That would be my guess. He was an academic, but he had a proper respect for fate's plan, unlike most gnomes. You're nervous. Relax. This is what Fate Weavers do. I'll be seeing your place in the pattern of destiny. Who you are, what you've done, where your path takes you. Or, at least, I should be. You're real, right? I swear I haven't had that much... I am. But still, I've never seen someone whose fate was just missing. Not even when I was drunk as the King of Ballads. This doesn't make sense. All mortal creatures have a place in the pattern. You should have one too, dead or not. If this is true, and I'm not saying I believe it, then your path is yours to determine. It could mean nothing, or it could mean everything. The world is changing. You might be a sign of that, or maybe the cause. I've never had a reason to doubt my own readings, but we should consult with Arden. He's not a friend, but he's got a good eye for the tap wounded at the tower. Once I was Agarth the Unyielding, the Blade of Avgrum. I wrestled the Colossus Priestess and declined knighthood by the High King of the Fae. I was a hero of men, but that wasn't enough for me. I joined the Fate Weavers, hoping to find a way to conquer destiny itself. Turns out fate is the one thing I couldn't fight. You can find Arden's little cottage in the middle of Joven. Had to move there when he got run out of town. He's a damned good Fate Weaver. But that doesn't make you very popular. Especially not in dark days like these. The Tuatha aren't like any Fae I've ever known. They're cruel, bloodthirsty, and savage. Why, they're practically human. Hughes was always an odd one. Curious and determined as any of his kind, sure. He never shut up about his work. But he always knew what was important. He didn't worry about dying as long as he knew he'd get the well working. The Fate Weavers were once a great, unified order of sages from all the mortal races. We foretold the destinies of kings and gods. But that power takes a toll. Nobody likes bad news. And all the news in the world is getting worse. The Order splintered long ago. Now the old traditions are all but lost. And all I foretell is the fate of my beer. And I see it being empty soon. We are all threads in the tapestry of fate. Measured, woven, and cut according to a great plan. Fate Weavers undertake the task of reading those threads. Our title always was a bitter lie, since we have no control over how that tapestry is woven. But you do. And when a Fate Weaver looks at your place in the weave, we see only the shapes of what you may choose to become. That's just it. I don't know if you've got one, but that's why we're going to see Arden. He lives in a little hut to the east in Joven. I'll meet you there. What could this all mean? Still here, huh? Can't quite decide if you want to hear what the cards say, can you? What could this all mean?
Of all the songs in halls of lore, there echoes none more grand than Olane's many feats of might, the pure and lady of the light. She is a knight of golden knot. She is the cure seeker, the conscience of the summer fae. She is the heart of spring, of day.
Everyone just stand back. The warden can't work when you're crowding so close. Go back to your business. Go on.
Greetings.
I don't care what you race. It's a tragedy whenever anyone's savaged like this. Just look at the poor creature. She's been beaten to the brink of death. The Fae may be strange, but they certainly don't deserve this. We keep a precarious peace with the Court of Summer, one that's tested every day. I lie awake at night worrying what kind of disaster awaits me in the morning. But we're a good community full of good people. We have our eccentrics, sure, but we work hard and live quietly. That's the best anyone can do these days. Peaceful Fae make up the tribe known as the Court of Summer. They are led by a king in a faraway city, hidden from mortal eyes. That's about all I know. Little more than rumors and stories from my youth. I don't know what the Tuatha would be doing this far from the front lines. It must be something vital to their interests. They're a wicked breed, though, and I pity the man who meets up with them in these darkened forests. I've spent most of my life dealing with them, but they aren't like us. Not at the core. They don't know what it means to be a man who sweats to feed his family. Goreheart has become a sort of refuge for those settlers who wish to live a life free of Fae. I don't see that lasting. Not with the war. Not with everything changing. I'm the Warden of Goreheart, and a poor one at that. I've been back from the war for only 6 months and been Warden for less than 2. Now here I am with an injured Fae on my doorstep. I'm a disgrace. Our fate rests in the hands of a few chosen who fight in the east. You wouldn't even know it in Goreheart. We're miles away from the smoke and the screams. It appears she was attacked with some manner of short blade, likely a dagger, although there's no way I can be sure. People simply stood by as she called for help. No one lifted a finger. Can you imagine? It's shameful to treat another in such a way, even if she is a Fae. I don't know whether we possess the knowledge to treat such a wound. Frankly, I don't even know if I could save a mortal with such grievous wounds. Well, you're the only one. With all the troubles we've suffered in this village, people are weary of adversity. They'd rather just ignore it. I'm going to suggest something a bit untraditional. There's a Fae named Eri. She spends her days up on the hill overlooking the village. Seek her wisdom. I would do it, but I am a coward. That's the truth. Perhaps a Fae will know how to heal a Fae. If not, then we're back where we started. She spends her days on the precipice overlooking the village. She doesn't think we're aware of her presence, but we most certainly are. Bye now.
Believe me, the attack has me spooked. I'm not even a proper warden, just a volunteer. I'll stick to jail duty. At least there, the criminals are behind locked doors. My cousin is Herc Adwald, the village warden. You might have met him. Herc asked me to move to Goreheart to help him keep the peace. I've only been here a few days, and look what I'm up against. Red Legion, Tuatha, and bodies lying in the road. I'm off to a grand start. Are you playing a trick on me? I would hope so. We're going on 10 years of the mortals and the Tuatha locked in a deadly embrace. Normally, I'd decry the bloodshed, but this is a conflict that we cannot afford to lose. Our guests aren't the wickedest breed you'll find in these forests, but they're bad enough to earn a spot in my collection. Stay clear. That's an order. You might call it a Fae nation, one of 2 united factions that rule their kind. The Summer Court are not exactly allies, but they do let us be, most of the time. It's the other Fae, the Winter Court, that has spawned the dreaded Tuatha, a vicious clan of killers who wish to defeat and enslave all mortals. I'd never seen one of them until a day or so ago. It appears that a small group of warriors ventured inland to strike behind our lines. Believe the stories, friend. The Tuatha were mad. They have been touched by a dark magic. They are wholly corrupted, and they are the enemy. What are they? I'm not sure, but they've been here for longer than any of us can imagine. They're older than the trees. They have to be. They grew them. Humans and immortals cannot live together in peace, at least not forever. The peace we have with the Summer Court is unnatural. That's my opinion. I don't know if you noticed, but St. Ordwig's mission closed its gate moments before that phased body turned up on the road. I don't like what that suggests. Not at all. The Brothers of St. Ordwig's are an odd sort, scurrying back and forth across the mission like squirrels gathering nuts. I wonder what goes on behind those closed doors.
Don't trust the monks.
Welcome to Goreheart.
配信終わります。